It's crypto time now. We look at the board and it's a sea of red, mostly. We see Bitcoin has dropped further to $59,630.41, dropped 0.25% in the last hour. Ethereum joins also, losing some of those green color that it had, lost more than 1%, $2,519.72. BNB torn back in the red right there. And Cardano, Solana, it seems to be a red Friday. We'll talk about this, but I mean, there's some stories. I know the most interesting one, obviously, is that Securities and Exchange Commission in Nigeria today. But first, we see that KuCoin now requires proof of payment if you're still using KuCoin in Nigeria. And this is, they say, but it's not for Nigerian users. They said it's for the European market, where users frequently mark orders as paid without actually making the payment. This is not Nigeria. They say now we require you to upload proof of payment, of your payment, before you can mark an order as paid. This measure helps prevent inconvenience for both the buyers and the sellers. They ask you to upload 1 to 2 images proving that you have indeed made the payment for the order, and ensure that the proof of payment that you provide is valid. Otherwise, the platform reserves the right to cancel your order. This is a notification for KuCoin users, but more in Europe. So there you have it. And then, of course, the Nigerian story, where the Securities and Exchange Commission has approved 2 licenses for cryptocurrency companies. We told you that story in the morning, that they approved 2 crypto exchanges, that's Quidax and Busha, under its accelerated regulatory incubation program. And this approval, in principle, gives them official status as crypto trading platforms in the country. In addition, the SEC has admitted 4 digital asset firms, Trovotech, Wrapped CBDC, Dream City Capital, and Housing Exchange.ng to test their technology under the regulatory incubation program. The capital market regulator says it is reviewing more applications for approval and emphasizes that these current approval are steps towards full registration, granting legal recognition to these platforms. Let's talk to Shehu Dania now. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Alpha Geek Technologies, and joins us on the program. Hi, Shehu. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, I believe you're anticipating this conversation. But first, let's look at the market numbers. We see a sea of red. What's going on? What has changed the color? Ethereum, that had managed to recover a bit, is back in the red. What's going on in the market?
Well, people would always take profits. So whenever there's any significant rise in the prices, like we witnessed during the week, wasn't so much, but at least we saw maybe like a 5% growth in most of those currencies. People would always take profit. And then it's weekend, some markets are closing. Let's also remember that it's close to the end of the month. The month ends tomorrow, which is a Saturday, and trading officially closes. So most institutional traders always close their positions at the end of every month. So it's something that I think is pretty much normal, except there's a major industry event which will trigger, increased prices.
But, I thought countdown to the September interest rate cut will give a boost to the market, which is what is happening in, for instance, the stock markets in the United States and even in Asia.
Yeah, but because the crypto market is more volatile. So truth is, there are a lot of fundamentals that back the prices, but half the time, most of these other currencies are more speculative. So the operations are slightly different from the way people would, consider stock markets, which are backed by, big institutions.
All right.
However, there's still some significant difference. But yeah, it's more volatile and the losses are higher. So people definitely want to close their positions.
All right. So now let's come to the crux of the matter today, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission granting license to 2 companies right there. We saw this coming because the new SEC boss, Mr. Gama, has always been, expressing his positive sentiment towards the crypto market, towards green energy and all of that. But what does this mean to the issue of legality? Because I mean, we do know that it's not all the arms of government in the financial sector in the country that have recognized or given the nod to the existence and operations of crypto. So what does this mean for the crypto community in the country?
So the decision of the SEC really signals, it's the recognition of the potential of digital assets and the blockchain technology, to revolutionize the financial landscape. I'll say it's a step in the right direction, but this is what everybody in the industry has been clamoring for, so to create a regulated and secure environment, for the businesses to operate. But let's remember that, they've also taken, an initial step of creating the ARIP, which is sort of like a cohort program, which is regulated, where they, bring in a few of the players within the industry, observe how they do their business, and then they'll now further, that way they can then now extend and give more regulation towards the entire industry and be able to license more and know how they go about taxation, go about, reporting, know about, anti-money laundering laws and all of those kind of things. But yeah, all in all, it's a positive direction. It's a positive direction for the industry.
What does this mean for those two licensees that have been given this license? What does it mean for them? What can they do? At least we see they've been granted legal recognition and ahead of full registration. And what does it mean? What can they do and what can they not do at this time?
So the central bank, before this SEC, the central bank already, put out some kind of, when they withdrew the statements that actually banned financial institutions from providing banking services to digital assets exchanges, they also put in some guidelines, in terms of how people should be able to operate. They basically, of course, they would need to still submit something, get a letter of no objection from the banks. They also need to operate within a particular framework, which is part of what they are. So for them, of course, it signals good business for them. It means that they have a license and they are operating legally, as opposed to however it is that they might have been operating before now. It also signifies it's good for their investors. They also, they're able to raise capital, they're able to expand their operations. They're also able to confidently ensure that user funds are secure, are safe. However, they also need to understand that with regulation, they need to then start abiding by the laws that are clearly stipulated by the referees, which in this case is the Security and Exchange Commission, and also transport to the Central Bank, the NFIU, and other agencies that may be involved in doing this.
I wonder how long it will take for there to be a new entrance into this group that they have just 2 members now.
As they mentioned, they are processing quite a number of applications, because I believe that most of the exchanges that have been operating in the country before now have also put in applications for this approval in principle. I believe that from the statement that the SEC put out, they are considering all these applications, and then they'll definitely be releasing more, granting more approvals, on a case-by-case basis as soon as the people meet. Because there are processes in place. You still need to go through clearance, you need to go through, security checks. They need to do security and more. There needs to be a lot of risk analysis around the directors and sponsors of these companies. Basically, I believe that they are doing things. So I'm sure, but I believe maybe every month they'll probably be putting out or adding new entrants who meets the criteria that they have put together into this cohort program.
So obviously this should be new investment line for some Nigerians.
Yes, definitely. To bring in more and more, to bring in more investments. People want to see, people have seen that, yes, Nigeria is an investable country because the government is able to take firm decision on what they want to do. They spelled it out clearly. There's regulation. This now allows, different businesses to be able to come in and say, yes, we want to actually go and do business in Nigeria. So, yeah, new investments will come in. We'll get new people who will invest in existing organizations. However, I think it's important for the nation to also, this also signs, it sends a good signal because these are local exchanges, right? They didn't actually just give out issue licenses to to international exchanges and then now make the local exchanges look bad. So the fact that the exchanges that have been granted licenses are local, it means that the government and the SEC are willing to abide by their words. So part of the requirements for these licenses are that the directors must reside in Nigeria. The major sponsors, the CEO especially, and most of all the C-suite officials. Executives, most of the executives must, reside in Nigeria. They need to have full operations, have an office, employ Nigerians, and all of those things. So yes, definitely, new investors will come in, invest in Nigerian businesses, and they will see the country can then reap the benefits of the digital assets ecosystem.
But I guess it still leaves windows for foreign investors, perhaps, who want to invest in these Nigerian businesses.
Oh, yes, definitely. So a lot of foreign investors will be able to come in. They will invest in local businesses because the local businesses definitely meet all the criteria that are required to, license and operate. So, it's a huge sign. Nigerians, the industry is going to open very, very wide. We'll be able to employ more people, be able to, spend more in all the different aspects. There'll be a lot that we're going to, but over the years since the CBN ban, a lot of the businesses operating have pretty much shut down. They've not been doing any marketing. They've not been doing any major events. But now that everything is going well, people will then be able to properly market on TV, radio, basically everywhere, and money will flow within the industry.
I wonder what else the crypto community can be expecting from the Accelerated Regulatory Incubation Program. Apart from this, because this was done under that program?
So the community basically, if you see the other people, there were some other businesses that were also given this approval in principle, for the regulatory incubation program. These are, businesses that are that will be testing out distributed ledger technology, basically blockchain technology solutions. So if you see maybe like a business like the RAP CBDC Limited, which is, promoting a stable coin, which is going to be backed by Nigeria, the Nigerian for to be backed by each naira, by the naira, which means it's going to be 1 naira for 1 CNG. And this way, people are going to be able to transact using naira on the blockchain, exchange between different currencies, transmit between each other. Basically, it's like putting naira on steroids. Some of the things that the e-naira couldn't do, I believe that the CNG and, will be able to do. And some of the other people who are doing, like there's a company they're also doing tokenization, who will start to see the benefits of, blockchain technology generally, not just the financial parts, which is, trading and trying to make profits, which it seems to be what everybody focuses on. This opens up the entire economy to the benefits of blockchain technology, and we will begin to see significant impact towards our elections, in supply chain, and several industries that could benefit from blockchain technology generally.
Do you see this swaying the CBN perhaps in a short time, and those are negative whenever the naira has a deep fall? The people look the way of cryptocurrency. Do you see it swaying the CBN and changing some of those sentiments?
The CBN has particularly said that they do not or will not be regulating, digital assets. That's why they have transferred. They set their guidelines. They've made it clear that their responsibility is the financial institutions. However, anybody that wants to transact with the financial institutions needs to abide by certain rules, and they put out those rules. And the SEC and the SEC, of course, then went ahead, issued regulation, and I believe that in the cohort program that they've designed, they'll be working on ensuring that the institutions who are partaking in the financial part, which are the digital assets exchanges, they will definitely have to abide by the rules that are set by the central bank and other agencies.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel, for your time and your perspective. Of course, we hope to see some action in the crypto community following this. And as you said...
Oh, definitely there will be. There's excitement everywhere.
Yeah, I feel it. Too. Thank you so much. And do enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much for having me.
Have a great day.
All right, so that's it on the program for the week. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We really do appreciate your presence. Without you, there'll be no us here. And we do hope it was worth your time. We hope to do better. In any way, we haven't done so good. We'll try to do it better next week. I'm Ini John Mekwa. Do remember that Will Ibong will be back here 7 p.m. tomorrow for Capital Markets. She'll be giving you a round summary of what has been going on in the market for the week. And you might even get some investment tips. I'm Ini John Mekwa. I'll see you at 10 p.m.